Very good morning to one and all. Myself Julie Yadav, Assistant Professor in Computer Science and Engineering Department. Today I'm going to discuss about the transmission impairment. Before discussing about the transmission impairment, I just want to make you clear about what or from where this transmission impairments comes from. Actually, this is the topic of a computer networks where the multiple nodes or various devices are connected to form a network, right? There can be multiple networks like local area networks, wide area networks, metropolitan area network, and so many networks are there, which when we connect multiple LAN networks or WAN networks, it forms a wide area networks. So while we are creating a networks, we are creating a networks to transfer the data from one end to the another, or to the source to the destination. It can be done through the communication also. We can transfer the data to the PDF data, or we can transfer the data through the voice or any other type of data we can transmit. So basically transmission impairment comes under when the data is transmitting from the source to the destination, then there can be a transmission impairment. Before studying about the transmission impairment, I just want to tell you that the data that we are transmitting, or the source that needs to be transmit the data, it should be converted into a specific format. The data should be converted into a binary. The data can be of two types, that can be a digital or it can be analog data. But whenever the data is transmitted over the channel or over the transmission media, it should be in another form. It means the data should be converted into a signal, because the data can be transmitted only due to the help of the signal. Whenever the source send the data to the destination, then if the source is sending 1010, this is the data. If it needs to be sent, then it needs to be converted into some form of signals, right? The signals can be of two types, that can be a digital signal and the analog signal. Analog signals are basically the sinusoidal waves, like the data that is continuous can be represented or can be converted into a analog data or analog signal. So the data needs to be converted into a signal so that it can be transmitted to the destination. While the data is transmitted from source to the destination, then there is an impairment. Impairment means whenever the data is transmitted from the sender side to the receiver, the data that the sender is sending gets changed before the receiver receives the same data. Means the sender, if the sender is sending 101, right, and the receiver or the at the destination point, the receiver receives 001, it means the data the sender sends is not same as the data as the receiver receives. That is done due to the impairments. Means whenever the signal is transmitted, it gets changed. It gets changed, which creates an impairment. So basically the impairment or the transmission impairments comes from there. Means whenever the signal is traveling through a transmission media can be guided or unguided, or we can say it can be a wired transmission media or it can be a wireless transmission media. Whenever we are using wired or wireless transmission media to travel the signals from the source to the destinations, the signals may get changed. They are not same as the sender sends the signal. This creates an imperfection in the signal. So the imperfection caused the signal impairment. Impairment means the imperfection or the changes in the signal is known as the impairments in the signal. This means that the signal at the beginning of the media is not the same as the signal at the end of the media. If the sender is sending this type of signal and the receivers receive this types of signal, means its phase might be changed, then this is the cause of impairment. right? So there can be many reasons why these impairments occur. Some of the reasons have been listed here, like the causes of the impairments are firstly the attenuation. The most important is the attenuation and noise. Another form of another impairment causes distortion. Now let us discuss them in more detail. The first one is attenuation. Basically, attenuation means the loss of energy. Loss of energy means whatever the data that the sender is transmitting, if the signal's energy gets lost, means the signal power or strength of the signal get weakened, then we can say that the signal gets attenuated. So, attenuation means a loss of the energy. When a signal that can be a simple or composite or single or composite signal, means whenever a single signal is traveling or whenever the multiple signals forms a composite signals are traveling through a transmission media, then it loses some of its energy in overcoming the resistance of the medium. Means whenever the signal is transmitted over the transmission media, to maintain the resistance of that media, the signal gets lost its energy while it is transmitting from the source side to the destination. That is why a wire carrying dielectric signals gets warm if not hot after a while. Means you might have noticed sometime like the wires get hot. Why it gets hot? Because they are carrying the signal from source to the destination. They get hot to overcome while they are overcoming the resistance, and then the data or the signals get lost or its energy gets lost. That's why the wires get hot or they can get warm, right? Some of the electric energy in the signal is converted to heat. Means the energy that's get degraded or the energy that lost during the transmission, it has to be gone somewhere. So where it goes, it converted into a heat. The wire that sometimes we feel the wire get warm or heat, that is due to the energy that is lost during the transmission of the signal. So to compensate this loss, we can use the amplifier. As you might have known that amplifier is a device that can amplify the signal, which means whenever the strength of the signals get weakened after a particular point, then to provide the same strength to the signal, we can use an amplifier. So, to overcome the attenuation problem, we can use the amplifier. Like here you can see the signal at some point P1 is this, and when it travels through a transmission media at point P2, here the signals get attenuated. Signals get attenuated means it get weakened. You can see here the amplitude of this signal is high than the amplitude of the signal at point P2. So, the signal or the loss of the energy happens here, means at point P2, the energy gets lost. So, to maintain or to give the same strength to the signal, we use an amplifier here, which provides the same strength to the signal. Here, the signal gets amplified at the point 3. So, this can be calculated by using a unit called decibel. So, decibel is basically the unit that measure the relative strength of two signals or the same signal at the two different points. If the decibel is negative, the signal is attenuated. Means whenever we are using this formula to calculate whether the signal is attenuated or whether the signal is amplified, if the value of the dB is negative, it means the signal is attenuated. If we get the value in positive, means we get the decibel value in positive, it means the signal is amplified. So, here the decibel is used to measure the relative strength of the two signals or the same signal at the two different points. Variable P2, and here this is the formula by which you can calculate the decibel, or you can calculate the relative strength of the same signal at two different points. dB equals to 10 log base 10 P2 by P1. Here P2 and P1 are the powers of the two signal at powers of a single signal at two different points. Here P2 and P1 represents the power of a signal at two different points. So let us see some of the numericals or examples of it. The first example is, suppose a signal travels through a transmission media and its power is reduced to 1/2. This means, what it means, suppose if whenever the signal is transmitted, it is at point P1, right? If its power is, suppose if power is P1 at point P1, and after traveling some time at some point P2, its power get reduced. Means if here at point P1 power is P1, the signal strength is P1, then at point P2 it gets half. Means if it is, here it is P1, at point P2 it becomes 1/2 P1, or you can write it like 0.5 P1. So we need to place that into a formula, that is dB is equals to 10 log base 10 P2 by P1. Here the value of P2 log base 10, the value of P2 is 0.5 P1, and we can reduce P1. Log base 10 value is 1. Here it is, if we can calculate this log base 10 0.5, we get the value is minus 0.3. Means while we are calculating the value of log base 10 into 0.5, the value of the log is minus 0.3, and minus 0.3 when multiplied by 10, it gets minus 3 dB. What it means? It means here the value is negative, which means the signal is attenuated. The signal is attenuated, and how much it is attenuated? It is 3 decibel. So by this we can calculate the, it means it shows that the losing power is 1/2 of the power that is transmitted whenever the sender starts sending the data. Here is another example. A signal travels through an amplifier and its power is increased 10 times. That means if at point P1, another question is, if at point P1 the power is P1, when it reaches to point P2, its power is 10 times greater than the P1. If here it is P1, then here at point P2 it will become 10 P1, right? While we are calculating this, for the second question, dB equals to 10 log base 10 P2 by P1. Here the value of P2 is 10 P1, that I have just told you, 10 P1. So while we are placing log base 10, here is 10 P1 upon 10 P1, P1 gets cancelled out, and the value is, the value of log 10 into 10 is 1. The value of this log 10 into 10 is 1. So when 1 multiplies by 10, it gets 10. It means the value of at the signal gets amplified. The signals get amplified at the point P2. Now another example is, the loss in a cable is actually defined in decibel per kilometer if the signal at the beginning of the cable is minus 0.3. Here we are given the value of the decibel, right? So at the beginning of the cable, the at the beginning of the cable, the signal is minus 0.3 decibel per kilometer. Here we are talking about kilometer, and it has a power of 2 megawatt. Then we need to find the power of a signal at 5 kilometer. Suppose at during the start of the signal, means at when the signal gets started, the power is 0.3. After traveling a 5 kilometer distance, it needs to be find that what is the power after traveling of 5 kilometer. So firstly we need to calculate the loss. So the loss in the cable in decimal is 5 into the given decibel value, that is minus 0.3, we get minus 1.5 dB. Here the value will become, the loss in the cable at point P2 will be minus 1.3 dB. Now we need to place all the values to the formula. dB equals to 10 log base 10 P2 by P1. Here we have already calculated the value of dB, that is minus 1.5. So we need to place here minus 1.5, like dB is equal to 10 log base 10 P2 by P1. We need to calculate the value at P2, means the signal's and strength at point P2. Here the value of dB is 1 minus 1.3 equals to 10 log base 10 P2 by P1. When the logs get converted into an LT log, it will become P2 by P1 is equal to 10 and the power is minus 0.15, right? When you will calculate its value, it will become P2 is upon P1 is equal to 0.71, right? And it is, and when we are calculating P2, the P2 will become 0.71 P1, right? And the value of P1 means at the start of the signal, the power of the signal is 2 megawatt. So P2 is equals to 0.71 into 2. So it will become 1.4 megawatt. So here the power of the signal at point P2 will become 1.4 megawatt, whereas during the start of the signal, means at point P1 the power is 2 megawatt, and here the power gets reduced, means the signals get attenuated. Signals get attenuated with minus 1.5 decibel unit. Now the another signal impairment technique is distortion. Distortion, it means whenever the signals phase or the form or the shape of the signals get changed, means if it is a sinusoidal waves or it starts from the positive voltage and after some transmission or at the receiver end, its phase get changes to positive to negative, then we can say the signals get distorted. So distortion means the word, the meaning of the distortion means the change in the signal in the form of the signal, or it can be a change in the shape of the signal. So that signal distortion can occur only the composite signals made of two different or many different frequencies. Generally, this distortion occurs whenever we are taking multiple signals and all the signals are of different frequencies, then these types of problems get occur during the transmission of data. So each signal component has its own propagation speed through which medium, and therefore there is owning a delay in the arrival at the final destination. So difference in delay may create a difference in phase, or it can, delay is not exactly the same as the period duration. So in another words, we can say the signal components at the receiver have phase different from what they had at the sender. Means the receiver phase can be different from the phase that the sender was sending. So the shape of the composite signal is therefore not the same. Means whenever the data is transmitting from sender to the receiver and it is transmitted in the form of a signal, and the sender that sends the signal and the signal that the receiver receives, if their shapes or the forms are different, which means there is a distortion in the data. Now, here you can see, if this is the composite signal, means multiple signals with different frequencies gets combined. Here you can say these are different symbols that the sender is sending, and whenever the receiver receives the same signals, the composite signal means different signals when combined together to form a single signal, the composite signals get changed. Here you can see the form is in the straight line, it gets changed to a different phase. So this is a type of a signal impairment or transmission impairment, which we call as distortion. Now, another and the last impairment technique is noise. Generally, the noise is like whenever the data is transmitting or whenever there is a communication between the sender and the receiver, if during transmission any type of noise occurs and it's changed the signal, means the signal that the receiver received is not same as the sender sends, that means the signals get impaired, or there is a change in the signal during the transmission. So noise is the another cause of the impairment during the transmission. Noise can occur at the end of the sender while the sender is sending the data. It can also occur when the data is transmitted over the transmission media, and it can occur or it can change the signal just before the receiver receives the data or the communication. So there can be many type of noise that can affect the signal during the transmission over the transmission media. So some of these noises are listed here. Some of the noise are thermal noise, induced noise, crosstalk noise, impulse noise. These noise can make or can corrupt the signal during the transmission. So firstly, we want to know about different types of noises. So the first one is the thermal noise. Is the word itself explain what is thermal? Thermal means there is a motion in the electrons, means whenever the data is transmitting from one end to the another, so the transmission media that we are using, the wire that we are using for transmitting the data, there are electrons present in the wire. The wires contains the electrons in the wires, they get moves or they are in motion because they are carrying the data from one end to the another, right? So whenever there is a thermal noise, it is the random motion of electrons in a wire which creates an extra signals not originally sent by the transmitter. So generally the thermal noise occurs whenever the data is transmitted over the transmission media, and the wires that in the wires there are various electrons present in that. So whenever the electrons gets in motion or randomly moving from here to there and here to there, then it creates an external signal or extra signal, which when combined with the main signal, if this is the main signal or the data signal, when it combines with the carrier signal or the signals that are extra created due to the random motion of electrons, then this creates a disturbance or this changes the data that the sender is sending. Another type of noise is induced noise. Induced noise can generate the signals in the form of whenever there is a like motors or there are various appliances that can create noise or voice. So this can also changes the data during the whenever the data is transmitting between the source to the destination. So here the induced noise comes from source such as motors and appliances that the sender is using, because the sender can send any type of data. So for sending different types of data, we are using different appliances. So whenever we are using appliances like motors or any other electronic devices that can create an external signal. So these devices act as a sending antenna and the transmission media act as a receiving antenna. This is induced noise is generally occurred when there is a wireless transmission between the two devices or between the sender and the receiver, whenever they are using different antennas for sending and for receiving the data, then this type of noise is generally occurred in those cases. Next is crosstalk effect. This is another form of noise that can be occurred or that can change the data while the data is transmitting from the sender to the receiver. Let us see what is crosstalk. It is the effect of one wire on the another. When two wires get in touch with each other, then it can create a crosstalk. One wire can act as a sending antenna and the another can act as a receiving antenna. So crosstalk can be there, and it can also be occur, or another voice can also be occur when I can give you an example, like when two people are talking or communicating over a transmission media and both of them wants to communicate something, then it creates an external signal that can corrupt the data or the signal, that the original signal it can corrupt. Another form of noise is impulse noise. Impulse noise is a spike, means sometime you might have noticed there is whenever two wires come in contact with each other, there is a sparkling in that. So whenever they are sparkling, they produces a noise which is a impulse noise. So impulse noise is a spike, a signal with higher energy in a very short time that comes from power lines, lightning and so on. So these are the reasons by which a data gets converted or data that the sender sends gets changed or the original data gets changed. So we can also find what proportion of noise is there or what ratio of noise is there when the sender is sending the data or the receiver receives the data. We can calculate it by using this formula, signal to noise ratio, means what amount of signal or the original data in contact with the amount of noise data. So it can be calculated by signal to noise ratio. Signal to noise ratio can be calculated by using this formula like SNR. SNR is signal to noise ratio is equals to average signal power divided by average noise power. So signal to noise ratio can be calculated at the receiving side. Receiving side means whenever the receiver receives the signal, then it needs to calculate SNR value. How it will calculate? It will calculate average signal power, means it is calculating different powers at different points. Then it creates the average of those powers and it also creates the average of noise power. Then it gets the ratio of SNR or signal to noise ratio, right? Actually, whenever we are calculating the SNR ratio or SNR value, then if there is a high SNR, which means the signal is less corrupted by value, like if its value is like 500 or something like 1000, or it can be something like in thousands or hundreds, then we can say it is the high SNR. It means the amount of noise is very less in that data. if the value of SNR is low, like 10, 20, 10, 20, 50, 30, 70, 90, we consider it as low SNR, which means the signal is more corrupted by the noise. Because SNR is the ratio of two powers, it can only often described in decibel unit, or you can calculate it when you are calculating the decibel of SNR. You can use this formula like SNR dB is equal to 10 log base 10 SNR. We can calculate because there are two different powers, so we need to calculate them by using a dB. So here is a example. The power of the signal is 10 megawatt and the power of the noise is 1 microwatt. So we need to calculate the value of SNR dB. SNR is average signal power divided by average noise power. Average signal power is this and average noise power is this. Firstly, we need to convert them to the same units. Like here we have converted in micro. So 10,000 microwatt divided by 1000 microwatt. So value of SNR is this, and SNR value of SNR dB is 10 log base 10, 10,000. The value of 10,000 is 10 raised to the power 4, that is 40 decibel. Means the value of SNR is less as comparison to the value of SNR. So here you can see the value of SNR is very high, 10,000. It means high SNR represent that there is a very less amount of noise. Right? So in this way we can calculate how much noise ratio is present in the data. Thank you so much.